In our cover story, trying to change the overwhelmingly white and mostly male leadership positions in this country's financial services sector. There are more recruiting efforts now to bring African Americans and Latinos into wealth management firms, but few candidates rise beyond mid-level and many leave altogether mid-career. Retention is a big problem that a gathering in Chicago learned needs to be fixed so firms can recruit, retain, and repeat. Representatives from more than a dozen financial institutions gathered at Chicago's Federal Reserve Bank say relatively few Latinos and African Americans choose careers in wealth management. But what's worse, those who do soon leave. Why are they leaving?
Well, we're not sure yet, and that's the second phase of the research that we're conducting.
Only 2.8% of senior leadership in financial services firms are African American, and just 3% are Latino, considerably lower than their respective size within the U.S. population. 12% African American, 17% Latino.
There isn't the same expectation that we have the ability to deliver the same service. And that's a problem. And we see it all the time.
John Rogers Jr., who founded Ariel Investments more than 30 years ago and now manages $9 billion in assets, says firms keeping recruited minorities long enough to gain leadership positions would spread the wealth management needs to a larger group and perhaps address other social problems.
If you get more wealth created, then those become potential customers. So if you have the next generation of people of color who become a partner at a hedge fund or a private equity firm, well, then they become the folks hiring investment bankers and law firms and other professional services firms because they have the wealth to do so. And they'll be on all the boards helping to make the city and the community stronger.
Those industries where wealth is generated are where you start to see these huge gaps in representation of minorities.
And there are fewer minorities in financial services than there are women in the field.
You'll hear the sexist comments. You'll hear people saying, "Oh, we can't hire these women for these kind of positions because they're going to get married, they're going to have a family, they're not going to be there." That's not fair.
You hear that today?
Oh, I've heard those conversations happen.
Some urgency is added to recruitment and retention of minorities in financial services, largely because their numbers have been completely stagnant for the last 5 years and show no signs of improvement otherwise for the next 5 years.